Okay. And of course, they think the second king is kind of intense in training. No, not really compared to father. Okay. You think I'm intense, you would not survive. You'd be a burnt crisp next to father. All right. You'd be an overcooked Dorito chip in the oven. Father had tremendous intensity and power, and he was not forgiving if you slag behind. Not forgiving. Right? So that's why the context of understanding who Father is in reality is so critical, right? The next generations, that's why it's so important that they are training with the kingship of true Father. Because one of our job is to maintain the realistic and real presentation of Father as he was. Not in this, how do we say, effeminized version. Right? He was an alpha male of alpha males. You understand? You're a weak male around him, he will whoop you up, chew you out, blast you, just tear you up and spit you out. You understand? Yep. That's a reality. That's why the young people, you wonder why your parents are intense when they're actually relatively calm compared to father. You think your parents are intense. That's because you've never been around Father. You never had to be around him, be pushed and trained by him. He's serious. It's a war. He's fighting the war against Satan. It's serious business. It's intense business. It's not a joke. There's not time for play. Okay. So this is very important. That's why people training is so critical, that the next generation, third gen, fourth gen, etc., they're training with Father's kingship line. That is, of course, keeping the reality of Father's nature alive. Like, I'm compared to a normal person, I'm relatively intense and I love training, stuff like that. But I mean, like, I'm nowhere near Father. This is what these kids don't get. Nowhere near him. The intensity is not nowhere near. I care about people's feelings. I try to make it a good experience when the kids are training. Try to keep the training, even though sometimes we train 3-4 hours, but I try to keep it generally, positive spirit and fun. And no, that doesn't exist. With Father on the boat from freaking 6 in the morning until 9 p.m. And if you make a noise, you will be hit with that pussy. You'll be shouted at. You cannot move a muscle on those small little rickety boats in the middle of the Amazon jungle. You know how insane that drove young people to stay still for how many hours a day? Oh my gosh, and then be yelled at all the time for being pathetic and weak and sinful. You understand? I'm talking about no encouragement whatsoever. Okay? The young people, you have to understand this. I'm not particularly intense. I'm actually quite nice. I push them hard enough so that, they grow, but I try not to push them too hard so they all burn out. That was not the case with Father. Father would just push, and, whoever burned out, burned out. I mean, is that true, first gen, right? That's true, right? So y'all don't understand. Young people, you don't get it. That's why you don't you don't understand. So the next generation has it. They're blessed. They have it easier. They get very direct guidance on marriage life and romance and sexuality and dates with their children and spouse. They get all this, fun stuff that y'all didn't get. You, first gen, didn't get any of that. Did you get any of that? No. It was do or die. right? So the young people are super blessed. Now, in reality, it is, of course, the difference between indemnity age and age of liberation, complete release. Now, so it is, obviously, they have a blessing. They're much more blessed. They don't have to walk that course. That doesn't mean the devil don't want to attack them. Is that true? The devil will still try to attack them and try to destroy their marriages, destroy them. But their course is nowhere near what when Father was walking on the earth was, right? Nowhere near. So it is important to remember where that first gen came from. The folks that, of course, gathered here, look, we may not all be perfect, but these are survivors, okay? These are survivors and these are overcomers. Okay? It's a different world, totally different reality. Most of these young people, they're good kids, but they grew up on, like all these liberal teachers. They're all so nice. They're also like understanding. You want to talk your feelings. That doesn't exist around Father, you understand? You can't talk about your feelings. You will get punched in the mouth. Talk about your feelings, give me a break. You understand? So, I mean, this is a problem. The young people, not these guys only, I'm talking about worldwide, they get this kind of soft education that's separated from nature, it's separated from anything, tough, like having to learn how to defend yourself, fighting arts, whatever. It's separated from all that, right? They cannot understand the intensity of Christ. They cannot. It's almost impossible.